We made it pretty. No, not me. That girl. Hey, good morning. Well, I have some bits and pieces for a video today, but I decided I wanted to add some additional stuff so that, I don't know, we can get some pretty taken care of. By the way, my truck has 500,000 miles on it. I start it and let it warm up for a minute before I take off. Get a little oil sloshing around. You know, she treated me well, so I might as well do that for her. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to Home Depot, get some extra hoses, get out to where the giveaway truck sits. I'm going to stop and get some cleaning supplies so I can clean up the firewall. We can start buffing on the body. I want to see some pretty out of this girl. Also going to show you a little bit on the engine. We're breaking the engine down to make sure that everything's good on that. So hang on for the ride. All right. We're on my beat up old Chevy Silverado. 500,000 miles on her. We're still running great. Told you before, that's why I went with so many LS swaps. I think the engine's an incredible engine. So headed over to AutoZone, and I had some comments before when I showed my silly little truck driving down the street. Someone made comments about the fact that I have a very dirty windshield, and multiple comments, including from one police officer I know, that I needed to change my windshield. So, Camaro, just so you know that I've been listening to you, I didn't change anything. The windshield's dirty because I live on a dirt road, and the windshield has about 17 cracks in it. Some people would call that a lack of respect for authority. AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Quest, whatever you do, there's usually a million different products on here. We're going to go with something real basic. I need a degreaser so that I can clean up the firewall, and we'll power wash that. And then I'm also going to go with a cutting compound and then a polishing compound to buff out some of the paint and see what we got. So I go sort of old school stuff. You see there, the turtle wax. Big fan of the turtle. You got clean cut rubbing compound and clean cut polishing compound. I'm going to go with that, just put it on my buffing wheel, make my life a little easier. And I think I'm going to go with concentrated car wash. I don't have any idea what it is. Hopefully it'll be more of a degreaser. Got to get that stuff cut. Alright, I know it sounds stupid, but I'm a cheap son of a gun. Anytime I can get a larger quantity that I just have to pump with my hand, I'm going to do that every single time. Instead of the aerosol can, you get half as much for twice as much. So I'm going to clean the firewall with gunk engine degreaser, and I'm going to pump it with my hand. This firewall is actually in very nice, very, very, very nice shape. No hits or dents or major scratches or anything. So we're going to put this on. Hopefully it'll all power wash out. We'll have to do a little scrubbing on it, I'm sure. I just can't believe how nice this firewall is. Which means that someone is going to get a really nice firewall. Now see, that sort of greasy, nasty stuff up there. So we're going to let this soak in. I'm going to push the truck up where I'm going to power wash it. Yeah, I got a whiff of that. We'll push the truck up where we're going to power wash it, and I'll coat it again and scrub it with a brush. Odd Rod Garage. I'd rather do it with a scrub brush than a rag because I'm a lazy son of a gun. But we're going to try a little bit of this and see if we can get a little better. I'm sure we can with a little scrubbing, but that might be your job when you win it. We're going to try one more trick. Alright, it's already looking way better. We're going to try a little bit of paint thinner, mineral spirits. It's pretty tame stuff. We're going to see if we can get a little more of that brown off of there. I don't want to use lacquer thinner. Lacquer thinner is very caustic. It'll really potentially damage the paint. This is not doing much, is it? That stuff is nasty stuff. Well, we might just try it. If only we can get the lid on. Alright, I'm just going to use some regular old dish soap. Hopefully that doesn't fall. And a rag and some cold water. We're going to try and get rid of some of the oxidation on this girl so that when we buff, we're not contaminating our buffing pad so bad. So we'll see if it makes any difference. I don't know whether it will or not. But it needs to be scrubbed. The roof has a lot of surface rust on it, but no cancer. I think I'm going to redo the... No, I'm not going to redo that. It's sealing right now. It's not leaking. If you live in a really rainy area, you might need to do something about it later on. For now, we're going to leave it alone. We'll get that blown off. Oh, I just stepped in mud. Well, whether it's making a difference or not, I'm not real sure, but I'll always believe it would. So I'm going to do half of this door, wash it all off, and then we're going to let it dry. We'll see if it made any difference at all in the oxidation. I've had people ask if that was cancerous rust on the bottom, and it's just a rust residue. It's peeking through the paint a little bit, but there's no cancer on this thing. Or at least not that I've found. It's just like stained paint, so we will see how she looks. Well, we're gonna let that dry up, see if it made any difference at all or if I was just wasting my time. Well, I think it's time to see if it made any difference at all to wash the door before we buff it. Let's take a look. Hopefully you can see the difference. Much more yellow here, much more pasty white there. So, we're gonna wash the rest of the truck, and then we're gonna put a buffing wheel on it and see how it turns out. We're gonna make it pretty. Ta-da! You got it, baby. All right, I can't dance like Tommy. See, it's just stained. It's not really rust. Rust off from this thing is gone and dripped down. Stain the paint, we'll get most of it out. We'll get some of it out. All right, we got a little ahead of ourselves. Started taking the engine apart. We want to make sure this is a good running engine. We started taking it apart before we started filming, so that's all right. We have the cylinder heads on. We've taken the bolts loose. We're going to crack it open and see how the inside looks and see what we're going to do with this bad girl. That is a cylinder head gasket. Doesn't look like we have any blown head gasket. That's good. Let's see here. We've got nice surfaces in the cylinder. Let's take a look at the next one. That might be a little stuck. Thing. We have no blow through. That's a good thing. We did lose that. No big deal. Alright, let's look. We got nice cylinders here. This looks like this girl's gonna be alright. I'm gonna get a dial caliper and I'm gonna put a measurement on it just to see how egg-shaped they may or may not be. All right, this is a dial caliper. As you move it out, you see the dial spin. And so I get my measurement from this point to this point, and it'll tell me where we are. So let's see what it looks like. We got a 78 side to side there and an 80 this direction, which is pretty normal to have a few thousandths wear. I would say this girl's looking pretty good. So most people have never seen inside an engine. These are pistons, 4 on this side, 4 on the other side for a V8. They call it a V8. They call it a V8 because from the crankshaft to the 2 pistons or cylinders are lined up in a V. So you got them over here too. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a cylinder. That's the piston. They go up and down. And there's intake, compression, power, exhaust. Those are the 4 strokes of a 4-stroke internal combustion engine. And that's what makes power. All right, so first thing we're gonna do on this, we're gonna use the Turtle Wax Clean Cut Rubbing Compound. We're gonna use a buffer on it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and do the initial cut. We're not gonna do the polish until after the truck is all put together. But this will be the initial cut. You might have some more gray show through the natural primer of the truck. Because, you know, it's fairly aggressive. We'll probably get rid of some of this little rust stain right here. We're going to give a buff on this door. It feels actually very smooth now that it's been washed. Feels good. So, here we go. I don't know whether turtle wax is any good or not, but I think they're probably all just as good as the other. There's some high-end stuff I'm sure that would make a big difference, but you can do that. All right, let's see what she does. Man, this thing is going to take a long time the way it rotates like that. Oh. Alrighty, had to go run to the house and get a rag. So anyway, we're gonna just buff a little bit of this off, see how she looks. I don't know if you can tell from that angle or not, but it's already shiny. It's never gonna shine like a brand new car because this is a totally different type of paint. But I am very, very pleased with what we have going on so far. You see how I brought a little more of the gray out, but that's gray primer. And hopefully you can see the difference between here and there. I am going to give you a shot with the camera to try and show the difference in case you can't see it. Hopefully you can see how much lighter that is than that. And you see a little bit of shine there where I've been buffing on it. So this girl will end up looking pretty all right. I just smear this around a little to where it doesn't go flying all over the place as soon as you start the buffer. Otherwise, you're just wasting money. And I'm a cheap son of a gun who's giving a 67 C10 away. Wow, that doesn't work out, does it? Rust staining gone for the most part. I got splattered in the face. One of the things I hate doing most in the world is buffing a car out. Yeah, it's just a pain in the butt. I hate it. But it sure looks nice when it's done. Later on I'll get down there and do that. I'm an old man. Don't want to do that too much. Some of this we can just do by hand too. We'll do this stuff down in there by hand. We'll get a little guy in here because I obviously can't get the buffer in there. But I can get it in most of it, so. All right, well, got the driver's side finished. It looks really, really good. I'm very pleased with how this truck is turning out. So I'll give you a little walk around, and then we'll finalize this episode. All right, don't know if you can see from here or not how it buffed out, but look it down on the door. All of that rust staining came off. Now from this angle over here, we should be able to see a sheen. And that was not there before. So we'll go over on the passenger side where we've already saw. We'll look at that door there. Got a little bit down at the bottom. They'll probably come out with the final polishing. And again, if you look at that shine, now let's take a look at the firewall. Look at how beautiful that paint is. No, it's not perfect. Look at those flies buzzing around. But that thing is so cool. All original paint on this girl. I love it so much. Huh, maybe I won't give it away. No, I will. So I need to apologize for Tommy not being in this episode. We had a completely different episode put together, and I just didn't like it. Well, my wife didn't like it either. She said, you know, we need to give them more information on the giveaway truck. So the episode I had planned for today is actually going to air here in about a month or so. It's on another truck we're doing. So, Brandon, be patient. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming by and spending time. Hopefully we're not boring you with what we do, but we have a lot of fun doing it. And remember, on this truck, 67 C10 Giveaway, I'm giving it away on April 1st. Please subscribe, send me a comment asking me to enter you into the drawing, give us a thumbs up, and share the video. We really appreciate you sharing. So as far as the No Name Nationals is concerned, I had a really good positive feedback from all of you guys. At least all the guys who commented. So I think we're going to go ahead and do it. I think it would be very enjoyable. I may even set up a situation where some of my subscribers can have their names written all over the car. Maybe a giant rap. No, not a rap with music. That will be Tommy. A rap to wrap the car in so that the people who follow me might be involved in the race. So anyway, as usual, Tommy and I want to say thanks for watching.